Jai Gurudev. Book's name A Glimpse of the Golden Future. Written by Pandit Sri Ram Sharma Acharya. Audio 2. Preparation for the Third World War are in full swing, and missiles are poised to destroy each other at a moment's notice. The reason being the intention of certain groups or class of people to dominate over the underprivileged masses. It is irrelevant to discuss who made the first move. Traditionally, more powerful and competent groups of aliens have been exploiting the helpless natives. This is the principle on which a governing system operates. Ever since the dawn of human history, exploitation of man by man has followed more or less a similar pattern. The powers which were encouraged to drop 2 nuclear bombs on Japan and made it surrender to them had also been following the same tradition of forging an alliance for dominating over the vulnerable. This philosophy of exploitation of the weaker itself is the root cause of all conflicts and wars. Ever since men began to think in this way, there have been wars with the available logistics. Until man gives up this policy, there will be no end to these confrontations. Today, however, there is a greater cause for anxiety because of possibilities of widespread destruction by nuclear weapons. Even if a nuclear confrontation could be postponed, wars would continue to be fought with other armaments, since the root cause continues to be the exploitation of the weaker, less privileged classes of people by the powerful groups. This is also the basis on which the boundaries of countries have been drawn. Had it not been so, geographical features would have been deciding the national sovereignty. A characteristic feature of such an ideal setup would have been a just status for the backwards, and the progressive class would have felt its responsibility for upliftment and progress of the underprivileged people. Since in any society, the number of competent persons is always less than that of the weaker section, the progressive class, which is in minority, is required to take up the responsibility to provide guidance to the former and also cater to its needs of reformation and social upliftment. But does such a situation exist today? A small number of resourceful, privileged people have occupied maximum possible territory by virtue of their superior intellect, administrative efficiency, superior knowledge, greater resources, and declared themselves as owner of land. This is the law of jungle, which advocates might is right. The basic cause of confrontation between people, as mentioned earlier, is demarcation of boundaries of nations and control thereof by groups having vested interests. It tantamounts to an unprincipled grabbing of power. The more powerful a country is, the more the former would be successful in intimidating the weaker nations and in maintaining a strong hold thereupon. In such an environment, all class of people aspire to become powerful and on the first available opportunity jump to subjugate the weaker. This has been the scenario in the medieval period, when whoever could muster a large army was inclined to attack the neighboring state and after plundering its people annexed the land to their own. Today this philosophy continues to be the same, but strategies have changed. Though upon confrontations are not sought, there is a camouflaging of principles on sinister designs. Still, the more privileged, powerful nations tend to exercise their control on the neighboring and distant countries so that they are able to exploit the latter to the maximum extent. besides retaining their own supremacy, the illogical political borders. Since ages, the boundaries of countries have assumed such permanency that they appear to us as natural landmarks. Whoever is an occupant of whichever part of land on this earth appears to be its justifiable owner. Nevertheless, a critical appraisal from the point of natural justice and propriety would present an entirely different picture. Where does one find an equitable distribution of natural resources of earth amongst the sons and daughters of Mother Earth? Are the more affluent and developed nations endeavoring to provide the less privileged classes of mankind more happiness and prosperity by voluntarily reducing their own necessities and comforts? Had man adopted such a philosophy, there would not have arisen any necessity for forging alliances or conquering lands. With such an ideology, man would have considered whole earth as property of God, and everyone would have had an equal opportunity to take advantage of natural resources found anywhere on this earth. With this doctrine, man would not have needed boundaries dividing the nations. Even if such a demarcation was required, the basis would have been necessities like transportation and not political groupism. Gas and oil fields are mainly confined to some Arab countries of Middle East. These are thus under the control of a smaller number of people, whereas, being a God-given natural resource, should it have been a property of the entire humankind? Likewise, there are very large unpopulated expanses in Africa and America, whereas in the densely populated countries like India and China, man has to face many inconveniences because of shortage of habitable land. The humankind should live like a family on this earth, and the land should belong to all. Everyone should derive advantage from the produce of land without any discrimination. Injustice begins when inhabitants of a particular land behave like its owners and intend to keep the produce of its natural resources exclusively for their own selves. On account of the aforesaid selfish, unethical thinking, the more privileged class does not tolerate the freedom of the weaker section. On the other hand, there perpetually exists a suppressed desire amongst the vulnerable class to become more powerful and stand in revolt against this domination. Such a disposition has been the cause of small and big confrontations between groups of people, and if allowed to persist, there will not be an end to wars on this earth. The divine will. Let it be known that the divine powers are now going to force all militant and aggressive powers to accept a lasting treaty of peace. The big powers are today threatening each other of consequences of starting a war. Under these circumstances, those who do not intend to be wiped out are advised to see reason and boldly retreat. The war which appears imminent would not take place. It is my assurance and prophecy that this war will be definitely deferred. For the time being, the ICBMS will not be launched. But is it going to save the humankind? A war is not waged with explosives only. The real war is the war of economics, of acquisition of resources. So long the borders between the nations exist, separating man from man, new frontiers of war would open and humankind would continue to face disaster. Now God Almighty is going to provide a collective, one-time solution to all human problems. Not only there will be a deterrent to the nuclear war, the boundaries separating the countries which various class and groups of people have drawn for forcible occupation by virtue of their superiority would also be removed. None of the countries shown in today's political map of the world would remain as such in future. A global nation will come into existence and the land on this earth redistributed and reclassified according to industrial requirements and transportational needs of humankind as a whole. Is it a utopian concept? The forementioned world order may appear inconceivable today. Why should America give up its privileges or Russia permit its allies to take a soft stand? Why China would allow its vast land to be distributed amongst others? Would the oil-producing countries share their resources with aliens? It is unlikely that anyone would voluntarily agree to this arrangement in the normal course, particularly the nations which are prosperous and privileged ones. On the other hand, the underprivileged, weaker nations hardly have a leverage to exert for a global redistribution of resources. In the present environment, it may appear that whatever is being said here is impossible to happen, but God's ways are strange. It should be remembered that man has never been able to predict the future course history. During the last few years, everywhere in the world, unimaginable revolutionary changes have taken place in political, financial, and educational fields. The transformations which this world has seen in economic and political scenario between the First and the Second World Wars and thereafter have been extraordinary and were perhaps beyond any stretch of imagination for the contemporary people. For instance, the changes which took place in Europe between the rise and the fall of Hitler could hardly have been thought of earlier. The events to happen should therefore not be viewed in the background of present environment. Advent of global brotherhood. God is now going to eradicate wars from the face of the earth once for all. Divine powers are not bothered about trivialities like deterrent of atomic and chemical warfare. This much man is capable of achieving with his own common sense. Since God wishes to deter was forever, He will also remove the root cause, the boundaries between the nations. In the days to come, the map of the world won't show the many small and big countries as in existence today. Since time immemorial, man has been toying with the concept of one world, one nation. The idea of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, all being as a global family, has been advocated since long. Now it is going to become a reality. Responsibilities of the elders. The largest number amongst the people of the world consists of those who are backward from the point of view of knowledge, resources, experience, and skill. Since this is the class on which the interests of majority depends, it deserves a preferential treatment. The truth, however, is otherwise. The prosperous and the knowledgeable sections of society, which are in minority, have an upper hand. The mature, grown-ups are supposed to look after the young ones. Following this principle, the so-called elders are required to rethink and take care of the underprivileged class of people in the same manner as guardians bring up their large number of children and make them self-dependent. Let it be known that the privileged minority will be made to give up the accustomed practice of exploiting the helpless, weaker people. Reconcile to the inevitable. Divine activities and creations are all miraculous. Out of a pitch dark cold night suddenly appears the bright glowing globe of the sun. Being used to this phenomena, man does not consider it a miracle, which it is no doubt. In a clear sky, All of a sudden, from nowhere, cloud appear, and within moments cover man and beast alike with a heavy downpour. This is no doubt is greatly amazing. The end of all wars is imminent, and it is the will of God. Let man mend his ways according to his desire. Since the armaments created by man for global destruction are going to be inactivated, let the sensible people also consider changing the present borders of countries which are illogical and damaging from the point of view of cause and consequences. This change would not depend upon superiority or might of man, with which the more powerful pulls apart the larger chunk of flesh, but on necessity of nature, which desires humanity to survive and live in peace for a long time. Hence, instead of having skirmishes now and then, it would be much better for man to take decisions for once for all after considering all pros and cons. It has to be done since God desires man to do so. Mankind would not be permitted to remain fragmented. Differential treatment of man on the basis of caste, class, or sex is not justified. On the same principle, a particular class of people occupying a certain land cannot be considered as its owner. History and tradition can no longer be quoted to justify a claim on territory, since in the New World Order, the most ancient doctrines are going to be replaced by the most recent ones. When this planet came into existence and man appeared on it, there were no borders separating communities into countries, castes, or color. Man roamed all over the earth depending upon his convenience. He stayed wherever life-sustaining resources were available. It is in the nature of man to love and live together with other persons and groups. Man is not a loner. Then what has happened now to make him seek alienation and confrontations? In days to come, whoever would make an endeavor to hoard things for his own self would suffer serious consequences of envy. The concept that the more affluent and privileged class is favorite of God and is more virtuous and fortunate is no longer tenable. Those having faith in God believe that He is capable of stopping a global confrontation. They may also add one more conviction to their faith, that He is going to redraw a new map for the world and formulate new rules and regulations for its inhabitants. The cloth on which the map of the world was drawn has now become worn and tattered. It can no longer be used with repairs. This dress, which belonged to the little three-year-old world, can no longer be worn. The world has now grown to become 23 years old. Hence, it needs a totally new attire.